It's time! Arizona versus UCLA, a bloodbath in Los Angeles, a heavyweight fight. Let's get after it. It's the AZ Wildcats Podcast pregame show starting right now.
Welcome on into the AZ Wildcats Podcast, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by our friends over at Circle K. I am Damon Fairall. He is Kevin Thomas. We are the AZ Wildcats Pod, coming to you live from PHNX HQ3 in downtown Phoenix. And Kevin Thomas, do we have a game to cover tonight? Giving you pregame, watch-along, post-game show coverage for Arizona versus UCLA, the best rivalry in the West when it comes to college basketball, maybe when it comes to college sports in general, when you factor in softball as well and the storied rivalry in that sport. Man, do we have a show ahead of us tonight. Similar to a one Bobby Hurley, we have a perfect villain in one Mick Cronin as well on the other end. This is going to be a fun one, Kevin, and we cannot wait to cover it.
I'm pumped up. This is, as Mick Cronin himself described it, this game could be a bloodbath, but I hope it is a bloodbath that Arizona absolutely dominates. I think they have a chance to do that tonight, Damon, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in this show, but I want to welcome in everybody that is here for UCLA night, the night that Arizona heads to LA. Koa Peat, Braden Burries, Jaden Bradley and company, alongside Tommy Lloyd and Saul Bookman, are out there in LA to face off against the UCLA Bruins. And I think there's no better way to start this show, Damon, than with our friends over at Three Amigos. But before we do get to that, this show is presented by our friends over at Branded Bills. It's the best way to not only elevate your brand, but rep your favorite Wildcats headwear and apparel. They have the campus store collection, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Make sure to head down to Tucson and check that out. It's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience that you can experience every day if you're down there. So
check out this sweet Brandon Bills lid I got on right now. Talk about the ultimate custom headwear. I mean, this is, of course, our Phoenix mascot. Just put it right on that bad boy golf hat, and it looks fire. So you guys can do the same with your own company and get in on the BBPHNX code of 15% off on your first purchase with our friends over at Branded Bills. But Kevin, you're right. We do have to get to some shots fired with our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila. The only way to get started when it comes to tailgating, hanging out, watching sports, watching Arizona Wildcats sports in particular. This segment is obviously presented by our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila, featuring their award-winning Ramona's Reserve Tequila in particular. That's what me and Kevin, of course, are always sipping on. But Kevin, you know what? There's an easy answer here for shots fired, but I think I got something else cooked up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that easy answer to you and give you maybe perhaps the most T-ball set shots fired in the world. I mean, that ball is, you put it on, it's stationary, it's sitting there for you, and you just got to get a nice fluid swing going. Let us know who your shots fired is at.
Yes, before I take this shot, I will let my shots be fired at one Mick Cronin. Mini Mick himself.
No one saw this coming.
No rings, no respect for his players, trashes all the players on his team if they lose a game by a point differential or lose a game at all or win by a point differential that he is not happy with, trashes and embarrasses his team as if he's not the one that brought them there, as if he's not the one that's coaching them. I know he tried to fire himself, but we know Mick Cronin doesn't really think he should be fired. That was a whole lot of BS. So, and as Carl Schroeder puts in the chat, I got to bring up the fact that not only is he an overrated coach with an overrated team, he took some shots at our own Justin Spears.
Our guy?
Our guy.
Our guy,
Tucson's
Justin Spears?
guy.
Tucson's guy, Justin Spears, is more like it.
And that is
perhaps the nicest guy on planet Earth, Justin Spears.
And that is absolutely unacceptable. Mick Cronin, shots fired. Pew, 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 pew. At him. That's my shots fired. Shout out to Three Amigos Tequila.
You're going to point a finger in Justin Spears' face in his city? In his city.
That is good.
Man, that's some crazy behavior, man. And honestly, Justin is such a nice guy. He let that slide because we know how much Justin runs the streets of Tucson. If he didn't want to let that slide, he didn't have to. He could have took one look at the next dude and just gone like this. Done.
Yeah.
It's like
sure.
it's mob ties. It's mob ties in Tucson with Mr. Spears. So yeah, I mean, I listen, Mick Cronin is the worst. He's mini Mick for a reason. He not only is like a little guy, and this is coming from someone who's not that big statured of a human myself, but not only is he a little guy, but he has the most little guy energy of any person on earth.
Big Napoleon complex, that guy.
Blames his players constantly. The most annoying guy on earth, the best villain, I would say. Does anybody have it better than us in terms of like feeling like the good guys versus who our main rivals are as bad guys? Like Tommy Lloyd is the most likable coach maybe in the entire country. How could you not like Tommy Lloyd? I feel like he's the type of coach where like even ASU fans, kind of similar. I know some U of A fans probably are going to get pissed at this, but kind of similar to a Kenny Dillingham where like I hear a lot of U of A fans being like, man, I wish I didn't like Kenny as much as I do. Feel like Tommy's kind of the same way, just in terms of like what a good dude he seems to be. But Mick Cronin, Bobby Hurley as your two main rivals coaches.
Living good.
I mean, the two easiest guys to root against in all of college athletics, potentially.
1,000,000%, Damon. And I want to make this very clear, right? You bring up the idea that we could not be on any better of a side. I feel so lucky to be rooting for Tommy Lloyd in comparison to some of these other coaches that we could be rooting for out here on the West Coast. And so, yeah, taking a moment. I'm happy we delivered our shot at Mick Cronin. Who is your shot going towards? Exactly?
Yeah.
You said you had a little bit of a mystery to lead us into.
Yeah, I mean, Mick Cronin's the easy answer, right? And I think I gave a little bit of a spiel for it anyways, just because I have to. I'm legally obligated to slander Mick Cronin on these airwaves every single time that he gets brought up.
Yes.
But if I have to, maybe branch out a little bit, Kevin, branch out with our friends at Three Amigos Tequila with the Great Ramona's Reserve Special Edition batch. I'm going to take a shot at you, Donovan Dent.
Whoa.
Mr. Top 5, Top 3 guard in college basketball. Let's see it. Let's see it then. If you're as good as everybody says that you are, you're a 5-star transfer, you're the biggest impact guard transfer college basketball's ever seen, well then assuredly you will outplay Jaden Bradley, who has made it onto none of these lists, who is not even a all-conference preseason player. I mean, let's see tonight, Kevin. Let's see. Because Jaden Bradley is going to bring it tonight. I know that he has Donovan Dent's name written down on a notepad, just sitting there being like, they think this dude's better than me. This dude from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shout out my guy. Shout out my Y songs. My Y songs out there.
ABQ. Shout out to ABQ. You know what I'm saying?
ABQ. Donovan Dent is not going to be better than Jaden Bradley this season. Maybe he beats up on the, I know he didn't play, the West Georgias of the world. Cool. Sick. He's not going to beat up on the Jaden Bradleys of the world.
No.
Donovan Dent, shots fired, my guy.
Salud. Centro, Baño, whatever. I don't know that one.
Centro, Abajo, Adentro. I don't know. I think that's close.
I tried. Thank you to our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila for helping us get ready for this game that is only but 20 minutes away, Damon, and we should probably talk about this game X's and O's wise a little bit. Just maybe not X's and O's, but just the way it's going to look. When you look at this matchup, Damon, what are you seeing? Where does your mind take you? Can you take us into the mind of one Damon Dog? Arf, arf.
I want my lick back, Kevin. I told you that before the show, off air. I want my lick back for last season. That's really what I want.
Yes.
I think that there's a clear Tommy Lloyd is greater than Mick Cronin agenda. They joined their new programs around similar times, right? And kind of have jumped into this new era of UCLA versus Arizona basketball. Tommy Lloyd's 6-3 versus Mick Cronin in the years that we were finishing out the Pac-12. And, of course, last year in one non-conference game that we've played since the conference ceased to exist. Should have been 7-2, Kevin. Should be looking at our 10th game with an 80% win percentage against Mick Cronin tonight. Didn't get it. So I want to treat this game like 2 W's, meaning we got to win by enough tonight that we cover for what we lost by last time and then some. I want my lick back. Literally, I just want revenge for last season. That's all. That's my entire thoughts on the matter. Last season was despicable. Last season was tough to watch. I've said it many times on this show. I was on an airplane watching the game, and I let out an audible yell when Henry Vasar took that early shot clock three-pointer when UCLA was going on that run. I went, ah! In the back of a, I think it was like a Spirit Airlines plane.
Like a Boeing 376.
A pond jumper that they had me in. Dude, we need a W tonight. Need a W tonight. We cannot let UCLA get 2 over on us in a row.
Yes, Deborah, tip-off is 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time or Azerbaijan time if you went to a school lesser than Arizona. But I will say this, Damon. When I look at this game, I think you'd be wrong as an Arizona fan to not want that lick back from last year. And how do you get that lick back? By doing what UCLA does better than them and using that as a vehicle to play Arizona basketball. What do I mean by that? Is that UCLA is a tough, physical basketball team. They want to slow it down. They want to beat you up a little bit. And if Donovan Dent can get out in transition, then so be it, right? How does Arizona beat that? Well, let me tell you, because they have more physical players, in my opinion, than UCLA. They have more skilled players, in my opinion, than UCLA. And these players are far more proven than the players for UCLA. They're struggling against Eastern Washington. They're struggling against Pepperdine. They're not struggling, but they're letting West Georgia find success in their 34th all-time Division I basketball game as a program. UCLA is not on the level of Arizona right now. Simple as that. Now, it's upon Arizona. It's incumbent upon them to go prove that tonight, to prove that the Florida performance was what's really this team really is, and not a fluke, right? To prove that you are a tier above a team like UCLA that is talented, but still doesn't quite know what they're the best at. Arizona knows what they're the best at. Points in the paint, toughness, physicality, and playing in transition. They know they have an identity. From night one, they've gained an identity. I think that's huge in this matchup against UCLA, and that's kind of where I'm at. You got to beat them up tonight. It has to be a nasty, physical game, where over time, Arizona just simply pulls away because they're the more skilled, more talented, more physical basketball team. And that's kind of where my head is at with this. I think this would, not when the season is over, but I think in terms of where these two teams are at right now today, this would feel like a bad loss. This would be a bad loss if you were to come out there and lose this for all the reasons I've already outlined. You're better, you're more physical, your players have higher pedigree. You should win this game. And it should be convincing, and we should be on the post-game show talking about, they cemented their status as a top team in this country, beat Florida, handle business against two teams you got to handle business against, went on the road to L.A. I'm all about it. I'm all about it, Damon, and I think they get it done. Yeah,
I agree with you here, Kevin, and I think that, as much as the Florida win hyped us all up, and it is, one of the probably 2 premier wins in college basketball right now, including what Purdue handled yesterday in Tuscaloosa against a really, really good Alabama team. It was a premier win, don't get me wrong, but Florida also looked okay against Florida State, who was not projected to be some world-beating ranked type of team.
They're struggling a little bit, yeah.
I think that, it's still a great win, don't get me wrong, I'm not poo-pooing it, but there are some question marks still about how good this Arizona team is for sure. We also know Vegas is very much an Arizona home environment. It'll be interesting to see tonight what kind of that fan split looks like because, it is in LA where UCLA, of course, resides. But, there's a lot of Southern Arizona fans or Southern California, Arizona fans, I should say. And a lot of, support among Arizona basketball fans in general, which UCLA just does not have to the level that we do. So it's going to be interesting tonight to see if there is a kind of a home road split or if it truly is a neutral site. But But yeah, I mean, I think Arizona still has a lot to prove. This one's going to be highly emotional. These coaches, as much as I think Tommy Lloyd probably respects Mick Cronin, and Tommy's always going to be the guy that says the right thing. I doubt Tommy Lloyd is the biggest fan of Mick Cronin. I doubt he likes that yell in your face, blame your players type of style in particular. This game means a lot, and it's time to get this done tonight. I like your key though in terms of needing to match UCLA's physicality, because they are such a physical team, and Arizona is so young. A lot of times with freshmen and not having a ton of experience, I think that a physical team can throw you off your game a little bit, and it's going to be interesting to see how a Koa Peat, who's so physical, a Braden Burries, who has struggled on the defensive end a little bit, but has really, really good intangibles when it comes to strength, right? And then Dwayne Aristote, who's athletic as hell, and Ivan Kharchenkov, who looks like he is 30 years old when you look at his body. But it's like we're going to see what that physicality looks like against these freshmen tonight, and I can't wait to see how they respond.
Yeah, no, I definitely get you with that. And when we talk about my keys to the game, we're going to get to those in a second. But spoiler alert, the first one is match their physicality.
Bridge Tech Communications
rough day.
needs a W about as bad as anybody has ever needed a W.
That's a rough one.
Only slept 3 hours last night, lost 2 clients today, lost Williams to Duke, cut my finger trying to feed the dogs, and the wife is mad at me. Listen, we're going to get you that W tonight, Bridge Tech Communications, because you need it, brother.
If nobody got you, Koa Peat got you.
Tommy
if nobody
Lloyd
got you, you heard him. Tommy Lloyd got you.
Tommy
and we
over
got
everything.
You. And we got you here on the AZ Wildcats podcast. We're breaking this game down. Shout out to Bridge Tech. This game is going to make it better. And if it doesn't, our post game will. But yeah, I mean, Monkey D. Shane says, I can tell you I wasn't looking like that at 30 in relation to your comment about Ivan Kharchenkov looking like a 30-year-old grown man.
30-year-old NBA player, maybe. That's probably a better way of putting it. Badly.
Yeah, that's an understatement. That is an understatement. Let's get into these keys. How are they going to get a W for our guy, Bridge Tech Communications? This is how they're going to get it done, in my opinion. Now, I was talking to some people on Twitter. Folks, there are a million ways to eat a Reese's Cup. You can eat it from the side. You can eat it vertically. You can do whatever you need to do. There's so many different ways to do it. You can do it in 1 bite, 2 bites, a million bites. I had people on Twitter kind of saying that, well, where's 3-point offense and defense? Are you just not going to defend the 3? Are you not going to shoot 3s? I'm not saying that these are the only 3 ways that Arizona can win the game. They have to do a lot of other things to win this basketball game. But these are the 3 things that I think will carry them to victory the quickest. Winning the physicality battle. Tip number 1. Key number 1. I said it earlier. Mick Cronin in a press conference this week literally described this game as a bloodbath. He said it was going to be a bloodbath. That is a window into the prep for UCLA. Their goal, and I'm not being disparaging here, I'm keeping it real.
People.
Their goal as the less skilled team in this matchup is to muck it up, make it gross, make it hard to watch, and put Arizona in a position where they're tired and beat up. That's how UCLA wins this basketball game. Unfortunately, just like they did last year, right? So if Arizona and Koa Peat, I think that is kind of where it starts with Koa Peat. Being the freshman there, being able to match that physicality is going to be huge. Awaka can do it. To an extent, Krivas can do it. Matching that physicality. Can Braden Burries match the physicality of the UCLA backcourt? Can he make Trent Perry guard him? Because we know Brent Berry. We know Braden Burries has some deficiencies on the defensive end of the court, right? But on the other end, someone's still got to guard him. And I think if you can make UCLA guard you physically for 40 minutes, I think Arizona is more ready for this type of a game than UCLA is, and I think that they are able to get it done. Key number 2, force UCLA to guard a full 40. I mentioned it there. Arizona is an incredibly tough to guard team because you have to pick your poison. You double up Koa Peat, now Ivan Kharchenkov's open in the corner, and that's the highest percentage 3 you can hit. Right? ADO's open on the wing, and his range is increased because he's added however many 15 pounds of muscle from last year, right? You leave so many opportunities for Arizona when you get aggressive on defense. You have to put UCLA in a position where they're chasing motion, where they're going around screens, and it makes it hard for them to guard that way for a full 40 minutes. We saw last year Arizona did a good job of putting UCLA in uncomfortable positions, but they couldn't do it for a full 40. They let off the gas in the final however many minutes of that game, forfeiting a 13-point lead. Unacceptable. This year, you have to match that physicality and make them guard you for 40 minutes. Final key number 3, win the offensive rebounding battle. These all kind of tie together. It's going to be a physical game, so you're going to have to win it on the margins. You're not going to win it shooting a gazillion threes. UCLA would love if Arizona abandoned the paint and shot 1,000,000 threes in this game. I don't think that's how it's going to go. You're going to have some opportunities because we know UCLA can really rebound the ball to gain possessions, steal possessions in this game. UCLA is a slow-paced team. How do slow-paced teams beat you if you're more talented and better in transition? They slow it down, they turn you over, and they steal possessions, and they win by 6 points. That's how it gets done. Arizona cannot allow them extra possessions. You have to win the board battle on both ends in this one if you're Arizona, but specifically the offensive boards. Got to steal possessions in one way or another. Obviously, forcing turnovers is another way to do that, but I think these are the 3 keys that I identified for tonight.
Love it, Kevin. I think that, we highlighted the rebounding battle and how important that can be in the type of game, especially where there's 2 contrasting styles of pace as well. A team that, is constantly winning the battle will have the ability to kind of dictate that pace, decide if you want to play in transition, decide if you want to slow it down. And UCLA is such a good offensive rebounding team that, this one is going to definitely be an important thing to look at here. But I got to say, I think the Twitter experts are right. That's definitely not the 3 keys to the game.
Break down your keys, Damon. Break down your keys. What you got?
I cannot stand the people who just think that they constantly know better than, not to say that, Kevin and I are like some experts, but
no.
Kevin puts a lot of research into what he does with these keys. Like he's not
at the minimum thought.
He's not just going willy-nilly and I don't know, screw it, offensive rebounding. It's like, no, there's actual research being done. Kevin does watch basically all of these games. Like, for people to like straight up be like, you're wrong, idiot, is like, it's just the stupidest thing on earth. And it's so 2025 social media.
I just think it's silly to be like, no, the 3 keys that you said are all wrong. They shouldn't do any of that. They should do what I'm saying to do. And they should do this one thing, and that's how they win the game. If they can do this one thing, that's how they win the game.
It's like the dude today who responded to the post about Cam Williams where you said, this is the first, Arizona recruit, in-state recruit that, basically has chosen not to go to Arizona since when?
Yeah.
And the dude was like, you don't even have to go back that far. It's Marvin Bagley. That was, Kevin, guess what?
It's like a decade ago. That's like a decade ago.
9 recruiting classes ago. 9 recruiting classes ago.
Totally.
I'm sorry, is that not noteworthy? A whole ass decade?
That's a long time.
And then it's like I respond with, actually, you know what? We decided Ty Washington was actually the right choice for that. So you're actually not even correct. And then he's like, he wasn't as high as ranked as Cam Williams. Was that the
That was never the argument, my guy.
Oh, interesting.
That was never the argument.
It's so 2025 Twitter. It's just so annoying. People they just have to feel like they're the ones that are right all the time. But I assure you, my guy Kevin Thomas is the one that's really right.
Hey man, I'm on to some things sometimes at least. And if you want to watch this game with us and see if my keys come to fruition, we do have a watch along kicking off here in about probably 8 minutes realistically. After the game tips off, me and Damon will be live, both of us at that desk, watching, reacting, interacting with you guys to this game, about this game. And, I'm really excited, Damon. Should we get some predictions going here in the final couple minutes of this year pregame?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't believe we did full-scale score predictions today.
Because it's hard with
unless
basketball.
You did.
It's hard with basketball.
It is. It really is. I was looking at the over-under for this game. So Juve's about -125. I do have some Juve money line bets that if you want to follow along on our watch along, I'm sure Kevin maybe has a couple wagers down as well that we can all hopefully be a part of as a big giant family and ride it to the Bet365 cashing bet slip. But listen, Arizona is, this game was like a 158 over-under. Like, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, Kevin. I'm going to go with this game ends up being like 80-75 Arizona.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of late flurry from UCLA to make us do the old-fashioned Mark Titus tweet. If you know, you know. But other than that, I think Arizona is the better team, and I think they handle it.
I think Arizona wins this one like 78 to 6. Oh, I can't do that. 78 to 68. I was going to say 69, but that it would feel purposeful, and it wasn't purposeful. But I think they win it by like single digits, but it's not a very high-scoring game. I think there are some moments where Arizona has some chances to pull away, but UCLA is just a dog on a bone and won't go away. I think that's kind of just how it's going to be. But I think Arizona is going to look like the better team for the entirety of this game. There might be little pockets where UCLA can poke some doubt on you, but I think Arizona is going to look the better of these two teams the entirety of the way. And I like Max's score prediction there, 69 to 67.
Max, that's just the most online guy score prediction I've ever seen in my entire life. I will say though, Kevin, we do in fact have the Magic watch along headband on deck.
That needs to be discussed.
So don't fret, Arizona fans. It's going to be okay. I promise you, it's going to be okay. This is our weapon of mass destruction right here that we have on set. We don't lose when Damon wears the Magic watch-along headband.
And he turns into Corbin Carroll. Shout out to our guy Carl in the chat. I didn't even think about this. If you want to watch this game with us, I will try to keep y'all as updated as possible as to what's going on because some people don't have Peacock subscriptions.
Oh, man.
And I totally understand if you don't have a Peacock subscription because my favorite show on there, Poker Face, they just freaking canceled after 2 seasons and a cliffhanger at the end of season 2. So I am not very happy.
It is UCLA colors,
right
but Bill, it's a Circle K Polar Pop headband with our great friends our sweet friends over at Circle K who sponsor this great podcast in the studio that we do it out of every day. So I assure you, dude, he's cool. He's with me. He's fine. I swear to God. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, if you don't have a Peacock subscription, as PS5 God in the chat says, like 99% of people, then please join us for our watch along. We'll be reacting to this game, trying to keep y'all up to date with what is going on, as PS5 God keeps you up to date with what's really going on these internet streets, and that is possibly a way to see the game. Who knows? And as Sean says, at least Psych is on there. That is a great show. That is a great show on Peacock. But we have gotten off the rails. Damon, do we have any last thoughts on this one before we get out of here?
PS5 got a little bit earlier. I mean, it's a big overarching conversation that doesn't have to end right now, obviously. We'll do it all season long. But was asking just kind of, how deep are we going to go in the tournament this year? What's, like, who cares about the regular season? I was just having this conversation with someone here at PHNX who is a villain of this program, wondering what, our goal is this season, what's success look like. I think the Elite Eight is success. I think further than Tommy Lloyd has ever gotten at Arizona is success. That's my short answer of what I want to see from Arizona this season. But of course, we got a long way until we get there. Kevin, do you have anything on that? Like any sort of particular threshold you need to reach to feel like this season was a success?
Honestly, I gotta get further into the year because you never know. This team needs to remain healthy as well.
The most basketball guy answer.
But I would say honestly, floor Elite Eight. I would say I would feel really good. I mean, I would feel ecstatic about a Final Four. But you know what I mean? Like I think those are the expectations.
I'm going streaking if we make a Final Four.
Those are the expectations. You have too much talent to not at least make an Elite Eight, and anything after that, I feel like it's gravy because you have to be in it to win it. And if you're part of the final 8 teams, you really have a good chance. But Arizona cannot get there if they don't handle business throughout the regular season and Big 12 play. That continues tonight in just a mere matter of moments. Arizona takes on UCLA in LA at the Intuit Dome. Saul Bookman will be there, boots on the ground, live from inside that absolute palace of basketball from what I hear. But yeah, Damon, let's get on out of here and watch this great game.
Let's do it before I embarrass myself any further. We got a watch along to be a part of. Everybody hop on over to that watch along stream and join it, watch along with us. Let's get some Arizona money lines cashed in this one. Appreciate everybody for watching this right now. Of course, you can like this stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow my guy Kevin at Kevo Posts. Follow me at Damon Dog. That's DAWG, and follow us at PHNX_Wildcats. On all socials except for TikTok, we're at AZ Wildcats Pod. Appreciate everybody for being here. Join us on the watch along and then on the post game. We'll catch you Until next time, peace out, bear down.
And go Cats, beat the Bruins.
We all silly like the mayor.